I've covered a lot of products that are aimed at children on this show. The reason for this is quite simple. The lack of subtlety lends itself well to comedy. If you don't know how to advertise something to children, the process is to basically take something bright and colorful, have a lot of music, singing, and dancing. Kids are going to retain that, and then they're going to want it, and they'll irritate their parents into buying it for them. For example, how about a sleeping bag with a face on it, or how about a backpack with a face on it? Usually it's, let's take a mundane item and put a face on it, but what happens when the product you're looking at has a message, an important message? Well, today's product has that very thing, and let's see how it handles it.
Ugly, they're snuggly, they're ugly snugglies.
So once again, we find ourselves in the realm of a bright, colorful thing with a face on it, set to some sugary song with crap-bag lyrics. And I'm not looking for Marshall Mathers-level lyricism here, folks, but I'm not going to give you any credit if you're just saying the name of your product to a tune. And as we go through the first few seconds of this commercial, I'd like you to take note of a couple of things. We see the children forcing smiles and smothering these poor, hollow fur bags. And that's all fine, but why is this girl outside of a barn? I mean, all the other sound stages were dressed to look like bedrooms, but she's outside in a hay bale. Is that where she lives? I mean, does she live in the stables and occasionally they make her clean it as if it were a task of Hercules? Is she Hercules?
Super soft animals that are so ugly, they're cute.
So I'd like to consider myself as being of reasonable intelligence. I have common sense. I am decent at picking up on most symbolism. So I feel that I can be forgiven for posing this question. What's with the duck? It doesn't really lend a lot of credulity to your stuffed animal when the child in the commercial is more enthralled by the real, living, breathing animal.
Here's Rowdy Rabbit.
Yes, because a term often used to describe the ugly is rowdy.
Crazy Kitty. Porky Panda. Unusual Unicorn. Pouty Pig. Bizarre Bear. And more.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going with no. I'm going with no out of 10. I mean, my God! I mean, is it just me, or was everything that we just witnessed wrong? I don't even know where to start. Well, I guess let's just start with what they're called, right? These things are called the Ugly Snugglies, right? So ugly that they're cute. Well, if that is the case, and they are supposed to be ugly, as you posit, why then are all of their, for lack of a better term, ailments not only the same, but not ugly at all? Okay, so the rabbit has a lazy eye and buck teeth. Not ugly. Crazy Kitty just looks like a happy cat with a mustache. Not ugly. Porky Panda is cross-eyed. And I mean, maybe you can make an argument for its coloration being different, because regularly pandas are black and white, and this one's blue and white, but I don't know, is that like albinoism, or are we working off of like Pokemon Shiny rules here? Either way, not ugly. Unusual Unicorn is, well, I mean, unicorns don't exist, so I guess it's unusual that it's here, but is it ugly because it's having like an existential crisis? And I can't see its other eyeball, but I'm sure it's got a lazy one, which, as has been previously discussed, not ugly. Pouty Pig is not pouting, in fact, he's doing the opposite. He just kind of looks sleepy or high. Not ugly. Bizarre Bear looks like it just sucked on a lemon, and that would be a bizarre thing for a bear to do, I grant you, but still not ugly.
And more.
And more is probably my favorite one of these, because it looks just like a regular monkey sticking its tongue out. And of course it's got a lazy eye, mustn't forget that. Not ugly. Okay, so none of the Ugly Snugglies are actually ugly, but maybe the adjectives in their names are correct. Let's go through.
Here's Rowdy Rabbit.
Okay, so Rowdy, I'm willing to give that a maybe, because this thing looks like a discarded character concept from Sam and Max, and I guess to be in that role you'd have to be kind of rowdy, so
Crazy Kitty.
Crazy Kitty, I'm going no, because this just looks like a cat. It's a normal thing for cats to do.
Porky Panda.
I feel like Porky might have been a better descriptor for a different character that had been presented here, despite some potential legality concern. To be honest, I've noticed quite a few odd things about this commercial. For example, why is there a dog with the unicorn?
Unusual Unicorn.
I mean, the first thing the commercial does when it's going through the roster of characters to choose from is they show Rowdy Rabbit, and there's an actual rabbit with it, which makes sense because rabbit, but the dog with the unicorn. I mean, what happened? Did the dog just wander on set, sit in front of the unicorn, and they're just like, well, if we're fucking powerless to move this 8-pound dog, might as well film it? I understand that not every single stuffed animal is going to have its real-life counterpart represented here, but you couldn't have done something. I mean, you went through all of the trouble of getting a rabbit for Rowdy Rabbit. You couldn't find a cat who could just sit in front of its own stuffed animal for a 2-second static shot. They found a cat agreeable enough to be played by Kevin Spacey for an hour and a half. You couldn't get that cat. You couldn't find a piglet. You couldn't just put a unicorn horn on the dog to make it seem like it gave a modicum of a fuck.
Every Ugly Snuggly has a hidden surprise.
Rabies.
Inside Porky Panda is a super soft blanket.
Because as we all know, pandas are made out of bamboo and blankets. A quick question, why is young Draco Malfoy here pulling out this blanket as if he were ripping out the panda's innards? I mean, there's something to be said about early psychopathic warnings.
Crazy Kitty has a light in its tail.
Can we please see a horror movie where some kid's being harassed by the emissaries of Satan and he has to search through his darkened basement using the useless flashlight on the tail of a stuffed animal? Can that be a thing, please? I'll write the script. I really want to see that happen.
Bizarre Bear has 5 secret pockets, so you can hide.
That's right, jam your iPod into the bear's brain, so that all of its thoughts are nothing but a continuous loop of Lucas Graham. Maybe if we're lucky, one of these other stuffed animals' special surprises will be burning liquor and herb to smoke, because we all had that at age 7, didn't we, Lucas, you goddamn weirdo.
Unusual Unicorn has an alarm clock. Alarm clock.
I feel unclean. This motherfucker needs Jesus.
So you can wake up for school every morning by yourself.
Little girls just play with a unicorn's butthole right before breakfast. Like it's no big deal. Just boop. Right in the sweet spot. Oh, oi, oi, oi. I mean, I don't mean to be crass, but why is the unicorn's, why is its asshole so, blown out? You know, on second thought, I don't think I need to know. I think I just need more Jesus.
Rowdy Rabbit has a hidden radio.
Well, at least they had the common decency to not put the headphone jack in the rabbit's butthole.
Pouty Pig has a secret piggy bank inside.
Ah yes, because nothing says snuggle like being filled with coins. I mean, is there anything more quintessentially Donald Trumpian than I'm going to be taking this pillowcase and filling it with all my gold bullion and sleeping on it. It's going to be a great pillow, a wonderful pillow, the most comfortable pillow at TrumpGoldBullionPillow.com. Make nap time great again.
Ugly Snugglies remind us that we don't have to be perfect to be loved.
So there's the message I was talking about. For those of you who've been wondering, hey, Chris said this thing was going to have a message, and so far the message has been, what the fuck? That's it. You don't have to be beautiful to be loved. I think that's a great message, an important message, one that should be taught to kids. However, I feel like it should come with someone that has maybe a little bit more tact than none at all, and somebody who's a little more aware of life in general, and not a person who thinks that the only ailments that would be considered ugly would be a lazy eye. Personally, I think this concept should have been taken to the next level. I mean, don't make them like ugly like Garbage Pail Kids ugly, because then you're just being gross, but they should be given imperfections that we as a society would generally look at and say, that's not conventionally attractive. I mean, hell, make them look like Eugene Root. It doesn't really matter. The whole point is, kids need to learn to, figuratively, snuggle up to ugly people. It's a skill they're gonna need when they get older. I mean, take a look at me. I'm not conventionally attractive. I've got Eddie Munster's hairline and my head is too big for my face. My facial features are maybe just a little too close. The point is that I'm ugly. Okay? Snuggle with me.
You can go online to www.uglysnugglies.com.
Okay. Oh, it turns out that the other one is called Maniac Monkey. Because, as we all know, only maniacs stick their tongue out. Like that book, Maniac McGee, was about a 10-year-old boy who just blew raspberries at people. Oh, and he has a backpack. Kind of feels like it's plagiarizing on Bizarre Bear's gimmick a little bit. Part of me's wondering if the bear did a little bit of politicking to keep Maniac Monkey out of the commercial, like, because he stole his spot. Like, hey man, he's not even like a real backpack. He just has one pocket and I got 5. What the fuck?
Must be 18 years or older to order.
Good God, what a shit show. Ugly Snugglies has an important message buried in quite possibly the worst commercial I've ever covered for this show. It checks all of the boxes in terms of color and bubble, but in terms of making sense and having a worthwhile product, it fails on an astronomical level. Common sense wasn't present in any of this. Why would someone snuggle with an alarm clock, or a stuffed pig full of coins? Who puts the alarm clock in the animal's butthole? Look, I know unicorns aren't real, but their anatomy is very similar to that of a real-life animal that you could use as a reference. You know where its butthole is. Plus, the idea of a $30 stuffed animal is ludicrous to begin with. Teach your kids to be tolerant, but don't do it with this, and don't do it for $30. Actually sit down with your kids and teach them. Actually talk to them about physical deformities and that acceptance is important. They don't have to actually snuggle with ugly people, because I'm sure if there's an ugly person, he doesn't want to be hugged by some random kid at the supermarket saying, "You're ugly, but I accept you." And for God's sakes, don't check their buttholes for clocks. I'm Chris the Nerd, and thanks for watching As Failed on TV.
Well, I did it. I didn't drop off after one episode like I thought I would. Thanks for watching this episode of As Failed on TV. If you're ugly, hopefully it made you feel special. And if you feel special, please let me know in the comments. If you liked the episode, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to do an even balance of the reviews, Drunk May, and As Failed on TV. If you want updates on all that crap, follow me on Twitter at ChrisTheNerd92. That's all I've got. Thanks again. See you soon.